Since I have been gone from the targeted individual community, I easily notice the enforced and promoted trends affiliated with the gang stalking and targeted individual movement. The most obvious trends include chosen ones, Sigma men and women, and the rise of the self-help guru. From my understanding, these trends all seem to be a form of complementary topics to further ensnare and softly coerce new understandings for a person to stumble upon. Though some of the topics and attributes herein are dependent on the understanding and psychology of the viewer, much of what is being pushed or allowed to flourish are dead ends and cover-ups. It comes to no surprise that prostitution and self-image management are at the forefront of decoding one's reality on YouTube and online. There is an obvious code of conduct for the continuous abuses portrayed against people who claim to be targeted. Some of them include the nuisance forms of media that cover for a person who has had real injustices perpetrated against them, using keywords, concepts, and blatant thievery to uphold a worsening society, while awarding some video promoters with free views, regardless if their content is rehashed, tasteless, and double-minded speech. The use of weaponized media, be it independent or mainstream, is another way to promote and protect crime and injustice. It is not possible to avoid all news media, where a weather report or final sports score could be seen as the only real news being broadcast. In some sense, media is needed. It is a shame that earlier generations of people wholeheartedly depend on trusted media and made it a part of their everyday life. A person can now choose what channel or content provider they desire to help tailor their human experience. If one is unlucky enough to accept the buzzwords intentionally used around them in the past, can now be used to create altered realities and personalities, depending on who or what you watch or listen to. The weaponization of word meanings given to a person from people in their past is more than enough proof of some type of buffer or psychological protection afforded to the person spewing the loaded language buzzwords. What these buzzwords and the people who use them depend on are people who have had constant criminality pushed into their life. A person or culture of persons hiding their debts and rewriting the norms and mores of society to fit their life. The occult protection racket of failing institutions and the mindless people who have made a living from these institutions. Finally, the people who have been chosen or are up to their eyeballs in debt to portray their lives and their communities in a proper authoritative light. If you are a person who has been harassed and stalked, you can be certain that it is from a group of people who banded together so they would not be left behind, hoping to put their bad luck and life mistakes into your life. For the fact you have been sought after is proof enough that an intentional framework of abuse has been put into your life. Although the perpetrators can claim many reasons why, or constantly misdirect a conversation to best suit their needs, while being afforded many avenues, it is obvious that these stalkers were always bent on using every last drop of your life. One way to understand this culture of harassers is that they suffer from forms of economic debt and poverty of the mind, dependent on practicality and value instead of quality and virtue. This concept has less to do with a product and more to do with a state of mind. The use and dependence of multiple meanings or understandings of products, colors, symbols, names, emblems, spellings, and misspellings is the forefront of day-to-day abuses and modern-day slavery.